Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So this presentation will cover a very peculiar and interesting species with special highlights to one lost to science for over 200 years. They are the tiger chameleon and the Seychelles chameleon, both of which are endemic to Seychelles. So let us highlight the how to identify both species. So first off, we have the tiger chameleon, which it has very distinctive black spots on its body. It has a black collar running along the ridge of its spine, and its total length is 160 millimeters. Whereas on the other hand, the Seychelles chameleon is green in general, has a white collar running along the ridge of its spine, has a total length of 170 millimeters, and usually the rib cage outline is visible from underneath the skin. So before we dive into the timeline of research done on both species, I would like to ask anyone that has seen this species before, whether it's the tiger chameleon or the Seychelles. So please show your hands up if you've seen this species before. Okay, that's like 1/3 of the room. So anyone that has seen this species knows that it is very hard to locate. It is very slow moving, and it is indeed a special species, I would say. So let's dive into the timeline of events and research that has been done on both species. So in 1820, the samples of both chameleon species were collected in Seychelles to be sent to the Natural History Museum in France, of which during handling, human error occurred, which meant that both species were mislabeled underneath one species, which was a tiger chameleon. So the Seychelles chameleon was not identified as a different species. And fast forward to 2008, of which the first study of a nationwide population of a chameleon was done by Gerlach. And in just 1 year after that, in 2009, field studies were done to establish the population of the chameleon in the Vallee de Mai, of which there and then found that there are distinctive features about chameleons, whereby some had spots and some were completely green. So this gave rise to the question, is it a different species? So in early 2009, genetic analysis was conducted by Dr. Raxworthy, of which samples from the 2009 field studies were collected to analyze, which, yes, he confirmed that it is indeed two distinctive species of chameleons. So the species status is still underway to be confirmed. And in 2013, a follow-up study was done on all inner granitic islands of the Seychelles, including Monthy, Pralin, La Digue, Silhouette, and Fregat, and Curieux as well, to find the extent of both species. And it was found that the Seychelles chameleon is only found on Pralin. And in 2008, a master's study was done by the site manager of Vallee de Mai, Mr. Marc Jean-Baptiste, to study habitat preferences of both species of chameleons in the granitic islands. And ongoing currently is the manuscript that has been submitted to indeed publish that there are two distinctive species of chameleons in the Seychelles. So this map shows the extent of both species, of which the tiger chameleon is found on Silhouette, Monthy, and Pralin in dark circles, And in green circles are the Seychelles chameleon, which is found only on praline. However, one sample was also found in the latanya leaves brought over from praline, but the chameleon was already dead by then. So how do we identify male and female for both species? First off, the female are more rounder, whereas the males are more slender. And based on the studies conducted, there are several adaptations derived from observations as well as concrete scientific evidence. So first off, from observations, you can see that the species has the ability to camouflage. As you can see in the picture on top, or maybe you cannot see, it has completely camouflaged itself in the surroundings. And it also has an inflamed throat, which means that it doesn't want to be bothered. And the picture below shows the natural color of the Seychelles chameleon. It has turret-like eyes, whereby each eye can move independently in a 360 degrees to try and identify any prey or predators nearby. It has a prehensile tail, which it can use to maneuver the canopy and branches and leaves, and strong gripping toes, which enables it to climb trees and also grab onto thin leaves. It is most active during the day, but it loses its pigmentation at night as they roost. It is a palm maneuvering specialist, whereby they hang from the palm fronts to easily evade predators. So as the predators go up the stem of the palm, it is hanging from the tip of the leaf, so it can feel the vibration going up along the tree, and it can easily just let go and fall down. So that's the adaptation to this this palm forest. They are also an arboreal species, whereby they spend most of their time in the canopy. They move very slow to prevent any detection. Coupled with the camouflage, they are virtually invincible. So some habitat preference, before we go on to the habitat preferences, based on the 2009 study done in the Vallee de Mai, the researchers found a total of 450 individuals estimated of the Seychelles chameleon within 19.5 hectares of the Vallee de Mai. Based on the study, they have a preference for Coco de Mer. And based on the 2013 study done praline-wide, they are found also in degraded habitats, and they can found on other trees. However, on other trees, their special skills, such as quickly evading the predators, are not fully utilized. They prefer closed canopy for forest connectivity as well. Some threats that these species face. So the Seychelles chameleon is currently unlisted on any platforms of species. So they are not listed on the IUCN Red List, nor are they unlisted on CITES, because they are still technically not yet a species in science. They occur only on praline, which poses a higher risk of extinction. They are also a victim to the pet trade, of which reports, as you can see, dates back as 4 months ago, whereby someone from Germany was looking for a pair of tiger chameleons. And forest fires, as everyone knows, praline is no stranger to forest fires. So this threatens their habitats and also renders them vulnerable to to extinction. Habitat fragmentation is also a big issue, whereby the road that runs along the Vallee de Mai and the national park can cause roadkills, whereby these species are sometimes seen, actually, whereby they are evading predators, but their technique of letting go and they fall down on the road, which is very sad, as you can see in the picture, but that is a tiger chameleon. And changes in the weather pattern renders their breeding season vulnerable, whereby their breeding season coincides with the rainfall events. So a change in the rainfall events will definitely cause a change in their breeding season, or most likely will cause a change in their breeding season. So what is the way forward for this species? So the most important step now is to get the paper published, whereby it shows that there are indeed 2 species of chameleon, and from there, get it enlisted on IUCN and CITES for protection internationally, as well as under the local law. Develop a species management plan, whereby this species is also included in the plan, and also including other species, such as the giant bronze gecko, etc. And further research is needed to help protect and understand this species. So based on the research that has been done, it is not fully understood yet. So further research is needed to try and understand how it breeds, where it breeds, when it breeds, and other pertinent questions. And lastly, mindful land use and planning is needed, whereby even on our end, not to deforest too much forests on Prale, especially the palm forests. So thank you for listening, and I hope it was interesting.